what's happening? Yeah, I kind of want to explain this kind of like narcissistic volleyball. Okay, this is a horrible, 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 horrible place to find yourself in. But when you're in a way, it's like, all right, you got a main narcissist in your life, and they're constantly in a way like volleyball playing by themselves. They knock you up in the air and they wait till you come back and they keep knocking you back up in the air. But there's a time where another person can come in, or even more, a group of four. There could be two smallers and a main, or they can switch teams like the freaking Olympics, basically. And if a person already has this in them and they see someone treating you in such a way that they know how to utilize, they can just copy the main narcissist tactics, and it's like the agent in the Matrix. You got multiple of the people attacking you the same exact freaking way, which helps add to this kind of like this feeling of lack of confidence. It's one way to undermine your confidence, which they can even get more. It's like, in a way, it's like the scarecrow. When the scarecrow gives someone the drugs and all of a sudden everything becomes all extra scary, they invoke that, and then they do this. Like, look, if they know, say you have two competing narcissists, right? When one, it's like, while one is you're in the discard phase, where it's not even a permanent discard, it's just part of the ritual. You know what I'm saying? They love to come back and see if they still can, if the same tactics work. So they'll go through all these hoops to get your guard down and gain your confidence and your trust, and then they'll just hit you with the hard vamping, which a vamp normally comes from them making you feel bad by them venting how they really feel. And then how you respond to that. If you don't respond, they discard. But if you respond, they keep it going. They keep the ball in play. And the other narcissist that you've been bad to and you haven't been giving them no supply, they wait in the wings for you to be all beat up, and then they'll be waiting with the open wing, and then you'll get there and they'll nurse you a little bit. You won't get past whole. You won't even get nowhere near that. You'll just get, it's like, I see you're at 10%. So they work you up to 15, then hit you for 30. Bam. You're not, you know what I'm saying? And they notice when you're weak. And they're waiting in the wings watching the other narcissists play you, because they know, because they do it too. And they're waiting for their opportunity to come in as the knight and shit in shining armor, just so they can turn into fucking your Mao Zedong, Joseph Stalin, savior, or your Adolf. You know what I'm saying? Basically in your life, and they will join with you to get revenge on the other guy, which is really, they just want supply, and they need information and intelligence gathering on their other targets. They want to see where their other target's mind's at. But you're the main target. You're the main feeder. And see, when you get hip to one, they let the other one beat you up and beat the fuck out of you. And then they come in and reinforce all the stuff that was just done by the other. They just join on in. And I'm telling you, it's really sickening when narcissists observe another narcissistic relationship, and they just chameleon in and become that person. They can mirror the bad guy by, it's like they can just cue in to the psychological manipulation, and they can just, it's like, yeah, I know that kung fu, and they just use it. You know what I'm saying? They see, oh, this works on you. I'll get some free supply from nowhere. I'll just jump in, and you won't even realize, man, that this person is involved until like after the fact. You'd be like, what the fuck? What would make them just jump in for nothing? And that's why they can't help it, man. It's just like, look, it's a frenzy. It's almost like you're being raped psychologically by a person, and then you run from him, and then this other person sitting there waiting for you to run. So as you're running away from this rape, you run right into another rapist with his hand on his pants right there. And then you get away from him, you're all tired, and then there's another one waiting on the other end. You know what I'm saying? And they volleyball you back and forth. It's kind of like, being wedged in between a rock and a hard place. And by all means, that's what it is too. Like, here's the two of them. They start off, you're in here, you got all this running room, and as you fight with this one, they move in as you're over here. Okay? Now this one does the same thing. Now you run back to this one, and then this one moves in until you're here. And bam, you're in between. They really got it out for each other. And they're using you as this kind of like, let's see how bad we can F him up to turn him against his narcissist. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is a really crazy place to find yourself in, because most arguments, debates, and conflicts boil down to that right there. It's just petty egotism, and prides. In a way, you get to mask your egotism and your pride by, in a way, it's like, by this person in the middle getting broke down and them showing out takes everything off of you. And so you can be like, hey, I ain't as bad as them, knowing that in a way you knew this was coming because you've been secretly gaslighting and setting traps and sensitizing and chaining and anchoring, and you've been keeping your naughty list and checking it twice, but you never put your own name on the naughty list when you're obviously that. I mean, just keeping a list, tabs on someone to that effect is a busybodying in others' affairs, and it's a sin basically. Even confronting these people, even the idea, because I don't say no names ever, I just keep it all kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's better to do it that way. So then, therefore, if a person feels guilty, it's like, well, then you should, if the shoe fits, wear it. But if you're not, then it wasn't for you, and it's not about you. Don't be narcissistic, thinking everything's about you, when it's not always, but sometimes it is. And even if it is, who gives a F what other people think about you? I mean, really, when it breaks down to it, because I see all these people, they say things they don't mean, and maybe they mean it, but it don't mean nothing when it falls on you, it doesn't take. Then it does mean something that other person was jive, man. They were being jive. And they were trying to do it in such a way where they could duck responsibility, duck accountability. They could redirect it, then deflect everything they're feeling on you, the guy who tries to stand up to the bullies. Because I mean, really, it's just a tactful way of bullying, and it does kind of come from the kind of almost this kind of single mother pride place, because it's mostly women that do it, and they're always motherly types, surrogate mother types, and what are those called, handmaidens? Those like the handmaidens that raise all the kids, really, so they can turn the kids against their parents because they have that insider traumatic knowledge. They know they got a secret language that they can manipulate right under the other person's nose. And this dynamic plays into it a lot, is that the gaslights, when people are having a conversation, totally loaded conversation, right in front of other person, and they're oblivious that they're the brunt of what these people are talking about. And it's just like, the thing of it is, and it's like, even if it's by their own volition, their own will, they're doing it intentionally, it's a demon. And even if they're doing it by some kind of strange information, so like they're tapping into some kind of unseen voice, the demons, you know what I'm saying? Either way, it's causing more trauma, pain, fear, grudging, bad blood. And these things that is the true conduit in opening demonic portal. And those portals are in our hearts and our emotions, and in that whole trauma, the trauma battery inside of us. You know what I'm saying?